Hello, open sourceers. On some GitHub repositories, you can see that there is a section named Use By, where you see who is using your repository. And if you click on it, you can see a bunch of repositories, but they are unordered. You don't know which are the ones who have the most stars, etc. And if you want, the only way to do that is to click everywhere, next, etc. And what if it was possible to have a simple page that summarizes all that? So let's take the example of Megalinter. We can see that there is a badge named Use By. If I click on it, oh, I arrive on a page where I see all the dependent repositories of Megalinter. But what if I wanted to do that on any repository? So let's set, for example, secret-lint. We see that secret-lint is quite popular. There are more for almost 300 users. But who are them? Do I really want to browse all the pages? No. So what I will do is use a package named GitHub Dependents Info. So if I go on the documentation, I see that it is possible to install it with a simple GitHub action. So if I follow the documentation, I will just copy-paste HTML tags where I will want to have the badge used by. So I have a fork here, and I will create a new branch. Let's call it setup GDI. And if I go in my README, I have my badges, and I will want to, let's say, put it just after the GitHub stars. So I paste my HTML comments, I save, and also I will create a new GitHub action by just copy-pasting the content of the workflow in the documentation. And so I just create new file in the workflows. Let's name it GitHub Dependents Info.yaml. I paste. So as I am in a fork, I will cheat a little and override the default name of the repository. But if it is your own repository, you can keep the same, it will work. So I save. Now I will make a simple commit. Up. And I will push, simply push my branch. And now, if I go on my forked repository, I go in the actions, and I see that there is a new action named GitHub Dependents Info that has been started. So we will let the package do its work, which is basically to make some scraping of the GitHub documentation and to build a markdown file and replace the HTML comments in the README by a badge named useBy. So as it is a scraping and there are some limits, so the job can take a while, especially if your package is popular, but it is a good sign. So let's wait a little. And once the scraping is completed and markdown generation done, we can see that there is another step that creates a pull request. So let's have a look at this pull request, named GitHub Dependents Info. And if I look on the changes, I will see that the README has been updated. If I want to preview the file, I see that there is a new badge named useBy, and there is another file with all the summary, and we see the list of the package ordered by stars. So now our job is almost completed. All we have to do is to merge this pull request in our own development branch named setup GDI again. And now I just have to make a new pull request to my main branch. And once it will be merged, then we will have some automations. So we see in the triggers that we can manually run the job anytime we want. We can also just wait. So every time there is a new commit in the main branch, this job will be run and will generate a new pull request with updated information. And if the repository does not have so much activity, don't worry, there is a schedule that will run the job every Sunday at midnight or anytime you prefer, and generate a pull request if your dependence repositories have changed. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the GitHub Dependents Info issues, or you can just write a message. Have a nice day.